What is up, everybody? It's Bestial Aaron reporting here to you again from my floor of my closet. And today we have an unhaul because it's just that time of year. It's spring cleaning time, and I have quite a bit of stuff behind me here, beside me here. It's a big old fucking stack of stuff that I no longer want. If you're expecting me to have a lot of profound feelings about why I've dropped a lot of these, prepare for disappointment, because a lot of them I'm just dropping because I just had no strong feelings for them. I just didn't really care. So that's why. And I'm just going to get right on into it because we have quite a bit of things to unhaul. And the first things that I'm unhauling is Tucking in Hana Volumes 1 and 2. It was a good story, but it wasn't all that engaging for me. It wasn't the best. My cat has arrived. You're gonna probably hear her and see her tail in frame. Meow. Meow. Next thing I'm unhauling is something that I have justified time and again for having in my collection because I thought it was just cute. But honestly, thinking about it, I have no idea what the fuck is going on in this manga. Like, no context whatsoever. It has no reason to be in here because I can't figure out what the fuck is even happening. Keeping stuff around for the cute is something that will eventually kill me. So, I'm getting rid of Wadanohara and the Great Blue Sea, which is an all-in-one. It's just... It's just meh. It's meh. This cat. Next up, I'm unhauling Otho, Volumes 1 through 4, which is complete. I read this entire series. I can't remember a single thing that happened. I cannot be asked to remember, and I know my memory is really bad, but I can't even remember a single thing. It was just really kind of boring, but not in a boring way that was like profound, like wow, that was wildly boring. It was just, it came and it went. It was like a fart, and it wasn't that interesting. So yeah, we're saying bye to Otho. Next up, we're unhauling Unmagical Girl Volume 1. It was a fun little comedy. It was nice, but it didn't really leave much of an impact. It was kind of like, okay. It was just okay. Like I said, I didn't have a lot of profound feelings about it. I had to really give it a good long think. And yeah, that is just something I'm just gonna remove. Next up is something that hasn't been in my collection for a while, and maybe you noticed, maybe you didn't. But that would be Plum Crazy Tales of a Tiger Striped Cat, Volumes 1 and 2. It's just cute cat manga. And like I said, I'm trying to not do the thing where I keep something around solely for the cute. Sometimes that's going to be unavoidable, but I'm going to try to do it as little as possible. Excuse me while I reach out of frame. Next up is something that you already probably knew I unhauled because I talked about it. And that is Concrete Revolution, which is an all-in-one. Like I said, when I read it, it was just so absolutely boring. It was just a wildly uninteresting, boring story, and it left no impact, and that was when I knew it's all like, this needs to go. This needs to go. Next up is another thing that's been out of my collection for a while. I think I got it, I added it to my collection, and then almost immediately did away with it. And that would be Kagura School Suite Volume 1. I don't even know if they've released Volume 2 of this. I haven't heard a peep or a sound about this manga, but it was okay, but it wasn't groundbreaking by any means. It was an impulse buy, so it's not like I'm losing anything by dropping it. Another thing that I'm dropping is, there's a thing that I do where I keep a manga around if I don't see anybody have it. I am wildly obsessed with setting myself apart from my peers and having a collection that isn't just a clone of everybody else's collection. So if I have something that's unique, I have to keep it around, even if it's kind of uninteresting and boring. And that would be Versus Aliens, which is a single volume. It's not very interesting. It's kind of just a regular story. It's nothing to write home about Versus Aliens. I was just keeping it around because nobody else had it. And boy, do I need a collection that's different from everybody else's collections. I need to set myself apart, blah, blah, blah. So, I'm trying to do that less and less now, because I realize that I have different tastes than everybody else already. I don't need to actively try and make my collection different and interesting, because that's gonna get me broke. Another thing that I'm unhauling is Ultimate Mania Volumes 1 and 2, which is complete. It was okay, but it was just meh. It was a nice series, but it wasn't something that I could see myself returning to and rereading. It was something that I read and then I was done with, and that was it. Next thing I'm unhauling is Ocean of Secrets, Volume 1. I bought this because I wanted to make a video, and I never made the video, and now I don't even want to bother making the video, so it's gone. Another thing that I'm unhauling is Goldfish Volume 1. Another thing that I bought for a video. It's okay, but it's one of those things where I just had to really sit and think, like, do I really want this? A lot of thought went into this big old stack of unhauls. Trust me. Next thing that I'm unhauling is Kenkabansha Otome, Love's Battle Royale. I know it's a 2-volume series, and it would be not very detrimental to me to keep it around, but it was an impulse buy, and it wasn't something that appealed to me. I just kind of bought it because it looked cool. And it's kind of like, okay, whatever. It was kind of just whatever. Next thing I'm unhauling is Angel Dust and Angel Dust Neo. Angel Dust Neo especially, because you've heard me talk about Angel Dust Neo in length. It's unfinished and doesn't explain or wrap up anything. And just Angel Dust because it's kind of like Testaroth, where it comes and goes and you don't really feel anything about it. It's just like a fart. So, yeah. And once again, it's one of those things where I was keeping around because, oh, it makes my collection cool and interesting because nobody else has it. Which, again, is a line of thought that I'm trying to avoid these days. Next up, I've unhauled, it's been unhauled for a while, but I unhauled Infinity Force. I bought it for my husband. I didn't buy it for myself. I bought it because my husband would like it, and I don't know how long ago that was. It was a bit ago, and he never touched it. And maybe just for lack of interest, I just figured I'd drop it. Next thing, and I feel really bad for dropping this one. This is by no means something that you should drop because it's uninteresting, because a lot of the things that I dropped I feel like no one's going to catch any feelings about. No one's going to get mad at me for dropping any of the things I've dropped so far, but I feel like this one might rouse some feelings. But I've dropped Aka, which is really unfortunate because I love Natsume Ono's stuff. I feel like this is something that's going to go in the Hayate the Combat Butler box, which is the box of manga that I want to collect in the future, but not right now. So yeah, I'm unhauling it, but consider it in stasis. Consider it a possibility for the future, because I know it's not that long of a series, so I might return to it later, but as of right now, it's just not something that I'm very motivated to continue. Next up, we have something that I've had in my collection for a really long time, and I've kept it around for a while, and that is Mega Tokyo, Volumes 1 through 6. I am finally just given up on Mega Tokyo. I mean, it was cool while it lasted. I mean, you gotta give it credit while credit is due. It's a phenomenon of sorts, Mega Tokyo, but I kind of feel like I've grown out of Mega Tokyo. I feel like there's no reason to keep it around. The story is beyond me now. I have no idea what's even going on in Mega Tokyo, and I follow it online, and every single time I go back to it, I'm like, what the fuck is happening in Mega Tokyo? And we've been waiting for Volume 7 for a good long sit, and I don't want to bother with it anymore, to be quite honest. Next thing I'm unhauling is going to be a little bit of a surprise, because it's a part of my collection challenge, which I'm very loosely doing at this point, because I'm not collecting something for my completion challenge every month. It's more like, hey, let's just finish this by the end of the year, yeah? Yeah. But one of the things that I'm unhauling is Kumiko Volumes 1 and 2, just mostly due to uninterest. I feel like I really want to pick up, Inuyashiki, and I really wanted to pick up Gangsta, and there was one other thing that I'm doing and I've completely forgotten what it is. Shit. Fuck. But Kumiko, I realized I didn't have a drive to get anymore. I realized that I didn't have a passion as much as I did for my other things that I had on my completion list. And I realized it's because I just don't really feel anything for Kumiko. I just had it around. It was just sitting around, and it was just kind of meh. So, that's that. Another thing that I'm unhauling is something that I mentioned was possibly on the chopping block. And I finally decided that, yeah, I mean, it's a nice series, and I've collected a bit of it, but I don't even think I've read Volume 3, even though I got it a bit ago. I've hardly even broken into Volume 2, and that is Alice and Zeroku, Volumes 1 through 3. It's just, I might put this one in stasis as well with Akka in the Hayata the Combat Butler box. But for now, it's just, we're putting it away. We're putting it to the side. Another thing I've dropped for a while is Gabriel Dropout. This was an impulse buy, and I got it because it looked cute, but it was not really my thing. It wasn't really to my tastes, whatever my tastes even are. Another thing I unhauled is something, I got Volume 2 this month, but then I immediately unhauled it because I was all like, I don't really enjoy this series that much. And that would be Karakuri Odette, Volumes 1 and 2, which I bought in May, and it actually came in, like, the crummiest condition. It's in bad shape. I had to break out my own not duct tape, but clear plastic packing tape to fix up this volume, because it was in the shittiest condition when I got it. It was bad. But yeah, Karakuri Odette is just, I can see myself continuing on with my life without it being totally okay. Another thing I'm unhauling is something that I recently just bought, but I kind of had to think, is this really to my tastes, or am I getting it because I want to seem cool? I wanted to have something that was different. And again, that's just something I have to deal with, and that is, I'm unhauling Though You May Burn to Ash. This is a good gambling manga. It's really, really cool. It doesn't seem like a good gambling manga, but trust me, just pay no attention to the ass, but it's just not my thing, so. Another thing I've unhauled for a bit, mostly because I fell so far behind due to just lack of interest, is a light novel, and it's Grimcar of Fantasy and Ash, Volumes 1 through 3. Yeah, I mean, it was a good light novel, but there are other light novels I'd rather read more. I feel I'm a lot more picky with my light novels than with my actual manga. Another thing I've unhauled that hasn't been in my collection for a while is Kiss Me at the Stroke of Midnight, Volumes 1 and 2. I liked the art style, but I could just feel deep in my bones that the plot was going to exhaust the fuck out of me, because I like shoujo. I mean, there's some shoujo that I really, really do love. Like, I love Anonymous Noise, And I love like cutesy stuff like Cardcaptor Sakura and Sailor Moon and Revolutionary Girl Utena and Gals, which is literally right behind me. But some shoujo I can just feel is just going to be just an exhausting, dramatic sit, and I don't feel like sitting through that constantly. So yeah, that's gone. This one should be an obvious. It's just in the stack because it's just getting unhauled with everything else. But you've heard me talk about this at length, and that's Fire Punch. Fuck Fire Punch. I don't care if people are mad at me at this point. I'll fight people in the comments. I don't care anymore. And finally, the last thing that I'm unhauling in this unhaul is 1 Week Friends Volumes 1 and 2. It was just a manga that I didn't really feel a lot of things for. It was just okay. And I feel like I was just collecting it to collect it, and I wasn't really engrossed in the story at large at all. So yeah, that's been unhauled. That is away. And yeah, that's the great unhaul of summer 2018. I don't do a lot of these videos because, once again, I feel like I know myself well enough to collect things that I know I will hang on to. This is abnormal. This is me getting a little too just out of control with my shit. But don't expect a lot of these sort of unhaul videos that are like big and bulky. So yeah, that's it. That's my unhaul. I know I dropped a lot of stuff that's not going to appeal to a lot of people, but if you are interested in any of the stuff I've unhauled except for Alice and Zeroku and Aka, because those are going in the Hayate the Combat Butler box, let me know in the comments. We can work something out, but I don't think I've unhauled anything that's going to actually interest anybody. So yeah, that's it. That's the video. I will see you guys in the next one, whenever that may be. It's probably going to be the next in the Yubisaki Milk Tea Rant series, so watch out for that, because we are about to get into some shit. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!